I'm going to take you on a tour of the Franklin Mills Mall, formerly known as the Philadelphia Mills Mall, and now they're calling it the Franklin Mall, but soon they're going to be calling it the non-existent mall. Here you go, for lease, $10,000 a month. That used to be a Chinese restaurant. Going back 30 years, it was really a nice place. And then they had a little store right there, their doorway. It's really a nice place. I'm going to take you on this tour, walk through the mall. There you go, the Franklin Mall, as they're calling it now. That was H&R Block. Obviously, the purpose of this film is to document the decline of this once great mall. It used to be so full of life back in the 90s, or even going back 10 years. I think this was Lane Bryant. They're long gone. It was a woman's clothing shop. And this looks like it's about to be a tattoo parlor. Hasn't opened yet. I don't remember exactly what that originally was. I know we had a record shop down by this end of the mall. But if anybody remembers some of these businesses, please comment down below. It's fascinating to me, because the mall originally opened with 200 outlet stores. Victoria's Secret is still doing well. And then we have Pink next to it. This used to be a food court. It was the secondary food court, or maybe the first, depending on how you look at it. It wasn't the more successful one. But a spot there back in 1994, because my father was in the food wholesale distributing business, and he used to supply foods and paper goods. It cost, for a cheesesteak place, it was $2,700 back in 1994. Bath and Body Works does really well. Yeah, so you can imagine what the rent is now. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous, and that's why all these places are folding. This used to be Levi Strauss. Back in the 90s, it was a store called Ware Entertainment, and it was all about pop culture, movies, action figures. It was a good place. I miss it. Tommy Hilfiger is still there. Yeah, that's why places are folding, because the rent is astronomical. Sorry if my camera's a little shaky. I mean, taking this tour and holding up the phone the whole time, I mean, is really takes a bit of a toll on your wrist. Since this mall is 1 mile long, and people will actually walk it back and forth because they're getting in their 5 mile a day, heart healthy thing. There's turn 7 inside, and the store's wound up looking like this, empty. This was its indoor entrance. And this was Forever 21. A massive place. I was shocked when I seen that they were gone. I took this photo right after they closed. This year they made it the Spirit Halloween. It was pretty massive, but they closed off a large chunk of Forever 21 because obviously it was massive. But you could only enter Spirit from the outside of the mall, which was really a pain and confusing to not just me, but others. And this was a cosmetic place, and it's gone. Another clothing store, long gone. Coming up on H&M. Urban Planet. Yeah, with all the online shopping, that's why you're seeing old brick and mortar businesses shut down. Saks Fifth Avenue, they are extremely expensive. That's why I'm shocked they're even still there. This place is massive. But their shoe department makes them look like they're closing. And they will. That's just an early indicator. Whatever this was, I don't remember, but they're gone. Perfumes for you. This mall's always been big on footwear and colognes. This guy's had that island there for many, many years. Back when the mall was normal and full of life. Annie Ann's, in case you want a pretzel for $5. Okay, Otaku House. This was a Japanese manga place. The owner was so nice. Sad to see them going. Journeys. Spencer's. They've been around for a long, long time, polluting the minds of people of all ages. This was Ruby Tuesday, named after the Rolling Stones hit. Good song. And just going around, entrance 3. Not much life in this mall, especially for its size. This used to be Orange Julius, and then before that, it was Dairy Queen. Now it's Crispy Chicken. But of course it won't last, because I'm sure the rent's like $10K, $12K maybe. That was Yankee Candle, and this Cinnabon, that used to be the Fudgery back in the 90s. They used to sing while making fudge. This was one of the T-Mobile spots. Now there's none. Toys Land. So they sell plush dolls. Not sure what that was there. Famous footwear. We used to have Payless shoes. And this is where As Seen on TV moved. Bounce used to be Oshkosh Bagosh, which was founded in the 1800s and is now Carter's. I remember them when I was a kid. Quails. They sell some nice men's suits. And that's American Eagle Outfitters. Then we got Foot Locker. The mall, I would say, is about 70% closed. Maybe 75%. Windsor. Time has faded my memory on what some of these businesses used to be. So again, if anybody remembers, maybe they work there or whatever, comment down below. All on Target. Not a good place. This here malt shop is quite expensive. Marshall's Home Goods, there's one of your anchors. They do well. They're always busy. City Blue, I'm really surprised they're still around. Serene Blue, I cannot recommend a lousy massage. Octane. Yeah, mostly clothing shops have survived, but some are long gone. They actually have a dental place in here. It's been there for some years now. And that there spot at the end was T-Mobile. It was a very active spot. This is where the Candy Island was. Rita's Water Ice. The other end of where T-Mobile used to be. Now there's no cell phone place to go to if you have any issues or want to upgrade or anything. Welcome to Franklin Mall. I don't know how these people make their rent. That was a clothing store that's gone. It was quite big. They used to have a lot of like pajamas, what they called snuggies. That was Wilson's Suede and Leather. I remember them, and then a Chamonix Mall. This was Modell's Sporting Goods, and they closed a couple of years back. They turned it into a Spirit Halloween one year. That's inside. That was GameStop down there, actually, next to, I guess that's the Diamond Depot. Can't believe they're gone. But we can thank online shopping like Amazon and many other websites, even eBay. Now, as we turn this corner, we're heading into the main food court. This was Steve's Comic Relief. They sold comics, graphic novels, statues. I really love that place. It later became Johnny Rockets, and it's been this here, Zara Halal Grill, since 2017. Mediterranean place. Not a fan. Steve's Comic Relief, that was great. And sometimes they had celebrity guests. Well, the mall has had many celebrity guests, actually, over the years. Jerry Marin from The Wizard of Oz, Vanessa Hudgens, Amanda Bynes, Paris Hilton, Michael Bolton, Mr. T, and the creators of the Berenstain Bears. And that clock is from Johnny Rockets. It's a leftover. And that was Sparrow Pizza, and they'd been there for a lot of years. They were extremely expensive. But I'm sure the rent was too. And this is a good Chinese place. Little Tokyo. That used to be Subway. Right there used to be McDonald's, and in the corner was Arthur Treacher's. I miss that place. The fish and chips. This whole area was just packed with, food establishments. More than half of them are gone. That was Lotus Express. There was a Mandarin Express as well. Chinese restaurants. We still have Popeyes and Charlie's cheesesteaks. They'll give you an unpleasant aftertaste, and I don't recommend it. They did away with their blueberry lemonade, which was really good, even though they filled it up mostly with ice. That used to be Cinnabon. Now it's Fruit Island. Well, after it was Cinnabon, it was Nestle Toll House. And you could buy a cookie for like $5. And that was Olympia. It was a sneaker place. Now it's Star Park. That used to be the GNC, General Nutrition store. And they're long gone. This is a new barber shop opening up. I don't know why anybody would even try to do business in this mall. That place is the oldest business, and they've been there since the mid-90s. Harry's Fragrance Outlet. And that was the financial exchange. That's where people got their checks cashed. And they moved to Ben Salem. This is the other end of the sneaker place, Olympia. But before that, it was actually Borders Bookstore, going way back to the early 90s. In this corner, back in 1997, it was Martino's Pizza, and I brought 2 breadsticks to the Philadelphia Zoo and had the pleasure of feeding 2 Rodriguez fruit bats. And I got to feel their wings. They were like leather, and their fur was so clean. It was one of the best days of my life. But over in this corner, we had Sheer Sensation Hair Salon, Radio Shack, and a whole host of other. There, it's the new logo with the key. We had a formal wear as well over on this side. Along this wall, there were, like I said, a lot of different businesses lined up. And there was plant life, and it was warm and cozy, and it was colorful too. Not, today's style is to be bleak and cold, and not colorful, not warm. McDonald's now compared to what it used to be is an example of what I'm talking about. So over here, down that was a hallway, in fact, and it was an entrance. It was the green entrance. Lovable Pets. It was a pet shop. And my friend from Liverpool, Steve, he worked in there before he owned his own pet shop. He took over Woolworth on Knights Road. Now we're going towards AMC 14. This over here on this side was Rainforest Cafe. And this is the movie theater. And it was really dead when I was last in there, and nobody at the ticket booth, nobody at concessions. The longest concession stand in the world. And you could just go in, nobody cared, just watch a movie. They didn't have the reclining chairs, but it was just so dead. And they had 2 floors. But a lot of nice memories there as well. This was FYE, and before that it was The Wall, and they were owned by the same company that owns Sam Goody and Suncoast Motion Picture Company. And that was a nice place. I don't know how they went out. I mean, a record shop can't stay in business. I mean, that's pretty bad. We met Lil Mix there from England. And this here's Five Below, and they do well. And of course it used to be Toy Works, which was one of the KB stores that closed in 2009. I miss them. There were rumors that they would return, but they turned out to be false, I guess. Somebody was supposed to have bought the name, but we never got a store. So I don't hold my breath when I hear news like that. Old Navy. Right here was where Colonel's World, who changed their name to Popcorn World, was. And in this spot, that is where everything's $1 was. That was a really good dollar store. Used to shop there with my mom. And then I think that was No Name Outlet. Tags and Flags, they've been there for over 10 years. And Tate's, they've been there for at least 15 years. And this was a clothing store that closed not too long ago. I'd say earlier this year. And that was Suncoast Motion Picture Store. That was a good place. That's where we bought our VHS before they were obsolete back in the late 80s, early 90s. That's another jewelry place. And then around this corner we have a hat place. They sell ball caps in this joint. And this was Rita's Water Ice. Now the same owner closed the Rita's in the Chamonix Mall, like way before. And then this is a very recent close. Sad to see. Back here was where we had an arcade back in, the early 1990s. Entrance 4. And then this place here sells some gaudy furniture. L&A Furniture. They just recently put these table and chairs because they got rid of a lot of the benches. And Twisty Fruity, now that's a good place. And they've been around for over 11 years in the mall. They once had 2 locations. That was where Philadelphia Pretzel Factory was. And this here corner stop, this one stop, that's been there since the beginning, I believe. Or at least going back to, 1992. That's where the children's formal wear, like tuxedos and dresses and stuff for kids, used to be. And this one here is eclectic. So it sort of has like a thrift store vibe, but it's really not. And it's a pretty massive place. It used to be Bed Bath and Beyond, and that was a really nice place. That was Claire's, and they also closed. The list of places that have closed over the years just goes on and on and on. And that's going to be a growing list until the mall itself will be no more, because the mayor of Philadelphia, Sherelle Parker, was talking about making the grounds into another arena or a stadium for the 76ers or something, I heard. But the word is from the inside that they've not renewed their lease. So one day this mall is going to be gone with the wind. And then you'll have round-the-clock security, because homeless people all around the area will be trying to get in. And explorers as well, I'm sure. And this is K Jewelers outlet. Somebody robbed them. It's on video. The guy played like he wanted to check out a ring and bolted right out this entrance. Coming up on where a maze gallery used to be. And that was a really good place. They are definitely missed. I did business with those people. That was Justice. And here we have Burlington Coat Factory, which originally was the 49th Street Galleria. It was a really good place. I mean, good pizza, arcade games. We used to hang out there. A lot of my musician friends would come together there back in the early 90s. That's where Puma used to be. That gold dress looks like the one Marilyn Monroe wore in There's No Business Like Show Business. There we have Skechers, in case you want overpriced sneakers. The post office, the survey place, and that used to be a really good dollar store. It's an independent little shop that is long gone. And there's another massage location of the same name. And there's a good little photo booth. And this was Zales Jewelers. And I was shocked to see they closed. That's right after they closed. I took that picture. This is another place that recently closed. It's really like an odd shop. I don't remember the name. But you can see so many holes in this place. Definitely dead. Not dead as a doorknob yet, but dead enough, and soon to be more dead. Because it's like I see a business leave once a month. No lie. This was another location for Nestle. Toll House. They were really expensive. And that's the Mills News, and they've been there for a long time. And that was a Chinese restaurant. And this was the other food court, and it was jam-packed. And I think this was Guess. And they also recently closed. It's mostly clothes, footwear, jewelers, and perfumes. That used to be an old record shop. And this was Sam Ash Music. And when they first opened, they had a black baby grand right outside. And I played it a little bit. Last year, they turned that into Spirit Halloween. And now we're back where we started, but only on the other side. So this was where Farmore used to be, and God, I miss that place. They had toys and food and candy and photo developing. That's a photo of inside the crevice. They have it locked off. And that's Dave & Buster's, and they do really well. That used to be Julian's. We had Boston Market, Bob's Big Boy, Roy Rogers, White Castle, Pizza Hut, Hooters, and Carvel along this strip. But they still have McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Arby's, KFC, and Dunkin' Donuts, but those are all outside of the mall. It's definitely a shame to see this place gone. It was a good place. They had lots of furniture, even had frozen foods at one point. toys, all sorts of things. Big Lots was good. Big Lots closed right before Halloween last year, and they went really huge on Halloween. They broke out so much merch and had multiple aisles, and before Halloween came, they were gone. Dollar Tree has thrived for many years. They're not going anywhere, it doesn't look like, but they're not situated inside the mall. There's Burger King, that used to be Krispy Kreme. Auto Wash used to be Pathmark and Super Fresh before that. Snapbox Storage used to be Carrefour from 1987 to 1993, and then it was empty for a minute, and then it became Bradley's for about a year in 1995 into 96, and then it became Walmart before Walmart moved attached to the mall and became a super center all the way down there. But along this strip were a whole host of other businesses. But Carrefour was so massive, employees were on roller skates to assist customers. Now this is outside of the mall too. This was Dick's Sporting Goods as far back as I could remember. But if anybody knows further information, comment down below. Boot Village used to be over there. And then at the end, that was Happy Days. It was a 50s style restaurant. Nam Jang, which used to be the International Farm Buffet, and then Panda King. And Wine and Spirits has been there for quite a while. The beer store and Wendy's has been there forever. Going back to when dining rooms were actually cozy. And way back in the distance is the Walmart Supercenter. It was originally Ports of the World, Steve & Barry's, then Boscov's, before Walmart moved over here in 2014. Grand China Buffet has been there for a while. But this is where Happy Days' other entrance was. Raymore and Flanagan used to be Service Merchandise back in the 90s. This used to be Nick's Roast Beef. They closed earlier this year. Before that, they were Katie O'Donnell's. That building used to be Dynasty, an Asian buffet. They're long gone. And the place in the distance, Lomax Carpet and Tile, was Toys R Us since 1989. I still can't get over Charles Lazarus, the founder of Children's Bargain Town, Toys R Us, dying at the age of 94 in 2018, the same year they closed all the U.S. locations after 70 years. K-Pot used to be very overpriced Pizzeria Uno, which is long gone. They do quite well. And then over there attached to the mall, we have Dave & Buster's. That used to be Julian's. They still do well. In the distance there, that used to be JCPenney. I miss them. Tires Plus has been there for a little while. Of course, Sam's Club still does well. Raging Waters Car Wash has been here for at least 30 years. This was LA Fitness. They've been closed for about a year now, and their parking lot is taken over by homeless living in trailers and tents and truckers. Bethel Church used to be the General Movie Cinema back in 1989 when the mall first opened, and it's been the church for a little over 20 years. Had a lot of nice memories here, seeing Batman and Dick Tracy and other cool movies like Great Balls of Fire. So there's your update. We've lost furniture and clothing stores, the Crystal Stone Place, the Candy Island, Children's Formal Wear, Nick's Roast Beef, Sam Ash Music, Rita's Water Ice, Barrow Pizza, H&R Block, GameStop, LA Fitness, Lily, Levi Strauss, Zales Jewelers, Metro Phone, Turn 7, AMC 14 Movie Theater, Wilson Suede and Leather, Big Lots, T-Mobile, and more is coming, people, because they have not renewed their lease. I found this squirrel behind the old Big Lots. Let's see if we can get a word from him. What do you think about the mall clip? I just wanted to know what you thought about the mall closing soon. I don't think he wants to talk.